Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty joins us now. And, sir, it's good to have you back on. Next week, when they roll this old bag of bones out onto the stage with Trump, he's going to be yelling about Trump tearing Hispanic families apart as he tries to keep them together. It is worth noting, though, the majority of Hispanic Americans actually want mass deportations of the illegals in this country.
Oh, that's absolutely right. If you think about their communities, Hispanic communities have been just inundated with this flood of people that Joe Biden has brought in. I talk with folks across my state and across the nation. And if you look at what's happening to schools, to hospitals, law enforcement, everything is overwhelmed thanks to what Joe Biden is doing, thanks to the crisis that he's precipitated at the border. And Americans can feel it despite their demographic groups or regardless of their group.
It's amazing. I mean, what they've done, they've decimated the sovereignty of this country for 3 years. And when somebody comes along with a plan to fix it, they're gonna scream how terrible it is to have a solution to this. Even as Americans, Americans, a third of Democrats want this solved, want these people removed from the country. It's terrible politics. They think this is a winner.
You know, I think this is why President Trump is winning. If you think about it, his numbers are rising with Hispanic voters, with black voters, and every demographic group. They can see what's happening with their own two eyes. They know what Biden is doing is, again, rewarding more illegal immigration in the middle of an immigration crisis that he has precipitated. This is preposterous. It's aimed at appeasing Latino voters, just as you said, Rob, in states like Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia. But I think it's going to backfire, just like so many other Biden policies have backfired. And that's why President Trump continues to gain momentum.
Yeah, their whole agenda, you'd really have to be deaf, dumb, and blind to be buying into what they're selling at this point and not paying attention at all. Meanwhile, even Michael Morell, former CIA, the man who conspired to gather 50 intel officials to lie to Americans and remove Trump and install Joe Biden in 2020, even Morell is now warning the terror threat in this country from what they've done to our southern border. The terror threat is blinking red. He appears to be shocked that we haven't had a major terror attack yet. We just had 8 suspected ISIS-K terrorists linked to ISIS-K enter our country, found in various cities in this country. When you've got Michael Morell, you know, who did more to put Joe Biden in the White House than probably almost anybody in the intel community, making a warning like that, that's something.
It's amazing, but you notice these are 8 ISIS-K members that are found here in America. When President Trump was in office, he had virtually eliminated ISIS. So again, we have a resurgence of these terror groups under Joe Biden's watch. The American public can see this. I hate to find myself agreeing with Morell, but he is right. The national security threat to our nation has never been higher than it is, and it's precisely because of the southern border. We have no idea who's coming in, and as he said, the red lights are blinking.
They are. You're one of 6 Republican senators who plan to block the consideration of Biden's judicial and also U.S. attorney nominees, those who believe the Trump prosecutions are actually in some way reasonable, which is unfathomable. Talk about that.
Well, they're absolutely unreasonable, as you know. What we're going to stop is any of these judicial nominees that have actually, been supportive of the lawfare that we've seen take place here in America. The American public is shocked by this. The Biden administration somehow thought if they could attach the moniker of convicted felon to President Trump's name, that they would somehow gain in the polls. It's been anything but that. The American public has been completely shocked. What the Biden administration polled didn't pan out. What they're seeing right now is a resurgence. In fact, I was talking with President Trump's campaign team just last week. You've seen the financial results of this, an outstanding and overwhelming support from the American public in terms of their contributions to President Trump. North of $400 million come in just in 2 weeks since that ridiculous conviction in New York. We need to stop this lawfare. We need to send a strong message.
It's got to be one of the greatest political miscalculations that this country has ever witnessed. This thought that they could take these ridiculous charges, after they've basically turned.
You're right, Rob.
Some percentage of this country, 30% of this country, is rabidly anti-Trump, and they thought that they could just use their support and throw anything at Trump, and it would be supported. They didn't understand that there's a vast middle that they've turned off in the last 3 years that were going to be so offended by this.
It's certainly true, and it cuts against the basic American sense of fairness and justice for all. And I don't care whether you're a Democrat, an independent, or Republican. You can see it for what it is. It's lawfare. President Trump, I think, was withstood it very, very well, and I think it's going to be part of what propels him back to the White House.
I agree with that. Senator Hagerty, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob. Good to be with you.